Welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast. We're Anne and Bree, and this podcast is going to be your go-to destination for indie reads. We highlight incredible indie authors, explore new worlds, and introduce you to books that you won't find anywhere else. Tune in for your next read, a laugh, and a share in the joy of finding your home. Hello and welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast, your go-to destination for indie reads. Today we are talking all things tropes we love and why we love them. So let's get straight into this episode, starting with our current reads. What are you currently reading, Bree?
I have got two. I had one on the go, but now I have two on the go. Technically, I have three on the go. I had a goal this year, one book at a time. Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to fail, throw the plan out the window. I currently have a second edition ARC from Natalia Jester. I've got Touch. I've got When Fear Danced with Courage ARC as well.
Ooh.
I was so excited to get that. And I have got audiobook at the moment is The Shadow of Wings by C.C. Davey.
Ooh. I actually need to read book 2 from C.C. Davey.
I went into Libby and I was like, right, I need my nighttime audiobook.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling and I was like, I wonder if C.C. Davey's got anything on here. And it came up and I was like, yes!
Oh, nice.
So I finished the first one, onto the second one, and then I've got the novella. I think the novella to go as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm up to date on that part of it. What are you reading?
I'm reading 3 books at the moment. One's a beta read that I don't really want to talk too much about, but it is book 3 in the Crooked Crayons series by Celia Rourke. I've only got the first 20 chapters, and I can't remember if she's done the title release, so I don't want to say anything just in case I let something slip. Whoops. But I'm also reading Of Dresses and Dragons by A. Jane Dove. She's an NZ author, and I recently picked this up at a bookish event that I went to, Ages of Pages. And I'm also reading Sea of Evil and Desire by Julie Strelu. I think that's how you pronounce her surname. I just got the PR package with the ARC copy in there, so I was very excited to receive that. So I'm also reading that. So quite a few different things on the go, but I'm having a really good time with them.
We're keeping busy, and how was Ages of Pages?
Oh my god, Ages of Pages was the best. It was so good. So I met up with a bunch of friends, which is amazing. Some that I've never met before, some that I'd already met before, and like this kind of gave us an opportunity to actually sit down and have conversations. And we had a sleepover, and it was just the best. And I was walking around and some of the authors were like, oh, you look really familiar. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Runaway Irish Girl. And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, no, it should be the other way around. Please stop. It was good though. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
I definitely want to try and be there next year.
Yes.
Plan. The thing is, I don't remember things very well. I have got someone who's just like, I'll remind you close to the time, and I'm like,
yeah,
nah,
I'll 100% remind you.
I need like 3 months notice. 3 months after Pages of Pages 2026, remind me, and I'll have it on my calendar, and then I'll be able to sort my stuff out. But it was, for me, I was gutted. It was so nice to see everyone's face, like everyone together was just so. I was like,
yeah, like my cup is so full. But my batteries were so low after, because I was like, I don't socialize, but I was socializing with a lot of the people that I truly love. And it was like when the friends make plans outside the group chat, and it was so good. And all the photos we took, and it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Cup full, battery empty. Who needs a battery anyway?
Exactly. Alrighty.
Right.
Should we get into the episode?
We should indeed. So today we're talking about tropes. Book tropes. All the tropes. Theme song! We don't have a theme song yet.
Yeah, okay, so we're just going to talk about some of the tropes that we love, why we love them. So why don't you start with your first one?
I've got Sunshine Grumpy as my first. Yeah. I love the dynamic that it brings. I love every time I am looking for a book recommendation. I love how authors do the trope map. And then the
Mm-hmm.
minute it says Sunshine Grumpy, I'm like, and that's for me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
immediately like, I'm just gonna take this. It's so Black Cat Golden Retriever energy that I just the
Yeah.
dynamic and the banter and the exasperation that you get, but it's the yeah, but you touch her and I'll buy. That dynamic
Mm-hmm.
just does me happy every time.
So do you prefer the male being the grumpy and the female being sunshine, or do you prefer the other way around?
I do male grumpy, female
Yeah.
sunshine. However, when it is reversed, it brings me so much joy to see a different dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah. Just that role reversal, eh?
It's so good. And I never get tired of it. It's one of
Yeah.
those tropes that for me I never get tired. It's like I don't feel like it's overdone. In my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, I feel like every time I see a trope map, I go, "Oh, this is another Sunshine Grumpy to add to my collection that I will be entirely happy with for the rest of my life."
Yeah. It's a top tier trope.
Oh, 100%. What about you? What's your top? What's your first one?
My first one is knife to throat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, who's holding the knife though?
I'm always here for the female holding the knife. It's just so good. It's top tier. I just love the tension and the chemistry that it brings to a scene. But then it's always fun when the guy has a knife to her throat too. Like either
Oh,
way, I love it. But I just get
rip it.
that like giggly feeling when it's her and she's being her badass self. And yeah, it generally kind of goes along with enemies to lovers because you generally always have a knife to throat scene.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just top tier. I love the tension, and I'm kind of here for the like dark side of romance, the unhinged side.
And it's even better when it's a knife to throat when it's their first interaction as well. And
Yes.
it's like, this is the impression I'm going to make is a knife to your throat. That is the
Yeah.
best first impression. To me, if someone held, as the first impression held a knife to my throat, I'd be like,
Red flag.
this isn't a romantasy, my dude. This is reality, and I'm going to kick you in the balls. Um, that would be reality, but in romantasy, it's hot.
It's a different. It's not real in romantasy, so we can romanticize it all we want. But if someone did it in real life, like you're getting arrested and going away, like
I'm
after I
going
beat
to
you up.
after I'm going to remove your favorite weapon. And that's ooh, light. I can see now. That is a great. I do love a good knife to throat scene. You can't beat
Yeah,
it.
you can't. You really can't. Oh, what's your next one?
I mean, going off of knife to throat, it's kind of hand in hand. Your enemies to lovers.
Yes.
It's you just. I'm pretty sure 90% of the books that I read are enemies to lovers,
Yeah.
except my contemporary romance. Then it's kind of mild rivals to, hey,
Yeah.
actually, I like you. But not, most of the books, it's an enemies to lovers situation. You can't go wrong with the, I really hate you too. Actually, that hate was wrong. I can't differentiate my emotions very well right now. No, really.
Yeah. I love that fine line between hate and love. It's like I hate you, but I'm really attracted to you and I hate that. It's
I,
it's the best.
and I think there's a reason why we love the villain.
Yes.
Always love the villain. I
Yeah.
sucker for them, but it's just perfect because they bring that just. I can't remember the word I want to use, but
The
there's
je
just
ne sais quoi.
thank you. That's the word I was looking. You knew. That's the one I wanted. That just comes with enemies to lovers, and I mean, you
Yeah.
get your knife, and that's where your knife to throat comes in. Almost wanted to say throat to knife, same thing.
Same thing.
But enemies to lovers, hands down, one of
Mm.
the best. Also, one of the things that I definitely look for if I'm looking at a romantasy when they say enemies
Yeah,
to lovers,
it's
I'm
like,
like, oh,
check, I'm reading that book. Absolutely. Yeah,
that's in my
I was kind
immediate.
of mad that you put it on your list first that I couldn't talk about it, but it's fine. I'll forgive you.
I mean, you can talk. We can talk it. This is an open forum.
I know. That's why I was like, oh, she has it there. I'll talk about Knife to Throat. It kind of leads well into each other. It's
It
all good.
leads in really
It
well.
does.
And
Yeah.
I feel like we probably share quite a lot of common
Yeah,
tropes.
like all the ones on your like that are on your list, I'm like, yep, 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 yep.
I think there's only one that of yours that I don't automatically go for.
Yeah, fair.
I think my everything else, yes, but the last one, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
fair.
your next one, go forth.
My next one is Forbidden Romance. Like again, tension, chemistry, but we cannot be together. I love this in both romantasy and contemporary. I
Mhm.
recently read Jen Morris's Forbidden on Fruit Street series, and I love that series because it's age gap forbidden romance. So the first one is like her dad's best friend. Like that's completely forbidden.
Oh, yeah.
The second one is then her um, ex boyfriend's dad, and then the third one is her best friend's dad.
Do you
So
have a thing for dads?
yeah, maybe just a little bit, but I just love the forbidden part of it and the like sneaking around and like we can't let anyone know that we're like we love each other or that we're together. I just love that. It just adds something to the story.
That extra level of taboo.
Yeah.
You're sitting there going, when, and then you sit there reading and just like, when are they going to find out? When's everyone else going to find out? How is it going to accidentally slip up? Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what's
Yeah.
going to
Or
happen?
like
And
when they're in the same room with like all like these other people and then they're like, oh, they can read it on my face, like can't they? And you're just like, yes, they can. Like they can
yeah,
see that you're in love with them. Like
it's obvious.
yeah.
You're not as secretive as you hoped. It
Or
was
when
right
they
there.
like or when scenes when they almost get caught and then one of them has
Oh,
to like hide or they get caught in a compromising position. Oh, it's just so good.
it's like, hey, let me just chuck you in my wardrobe.
Or under the bed.
Or under the bed. Or behind the window.
Oh yeah.
Just anywhere. That forbidden romance is, and it also really does tie in well also with what we've also talked about. Your enemies to lovers is also generally pretty
Yeah.
forbidden.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I just anything forbidden romance, I love.
Mm. That's
What's
just.
your next one?
I have to say it how I typed it.
Mm-hmm.
Slow burn. There's a lot of O's in my note. It just says
Yeah, there
slow.
is.
My favorite slow burn is the Kindred's Curse saga by Pencoll.
Yeah.
And that was like I think I'd read slow burn and I can't honestly remember. I think because Kindred's Curse was one of the first books I read after I graduated uni, so I was actually reading
Yeah.
for fun again. And that introduced me to the slowest of burns. Like, you get some cheeky looks in book one, and then you get to the book two, and there's definitely something, and then book three they finally bang. But it just that slow, but that gives you the tension. It gives
Mm-hmm.
some opportunity for things to go wrong, things to go right, other relationships to grow. And then
Yeah.
when they finally bang at the end, I'm like, they banged!
Yeah.
And I think I had messaged a couple of people where I've been reading, and like the slow burn was slow burning, and I'm just like, I have a couple of notes. I'm like, this slow burn is burning through my brain. Like, I need them to bang. And then I have a note that says, they banged! And I'm like, and you can always tell when the slow burn comes to like the tipping point.
Yeah.
It is glorious.
Mm-hmm.
I love sitting there going, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I love it with a slow burn. There's like a point where they're both just like, fuck it. And then it's like another top tier trope that neither of us mentioned, but that is another one where it's
Especially
just like,
when they say fuck it.
yeah,
It's like, oh,
fuck it. And then he like grabs her and kisses her or whatever. And it's just like, yes.
like, this is the moment we have been waiting for. How
Yeah.
many books?
Yeah. I do struggle with slow burn though when some authors kind of say it is a slow burn story, but then they like get together at the end of book one and it's kind of like,
It's like,
was that a slow burn?
you turn the stovetop onto medium and then just let it stir and then you're like, okay, cool, it's gonna boil over now. It's like, if you're
Yeah,
gonna do a
yeah.
slow burn, make it a slow burn. Make
Yeah, it
us
has to be like
feel the
multiple books.
tension.
Yeah, a really good slow burn is fuck, what's it called? Smoke and Scar, I think, by Gretchen. Hold on.
I just bought that book on my Kindle.
Yeah, I think it's Smoke and Scar.
I've
Slowest of slow burn. Like, nothing basically happens. In
nice.
book one. It's like we hate each other. Oh, we have to work together. Oh, there may be some feelings, and then it ends.
See, that is
So
what a slow burn should be.
book two is gonna be good. Yeah,
Book
book
two,
two is gonna be
they
good.
might bang.
They might kiss.
They might hold hands. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I should explore historical romance a little bit. Because
Ooh.
like the courting and the oh he touched my hand and that sort of thing I feel like I'd really love, but then I'm also like, will I?
Look, I love certain historical romances.
Yeah.
My one of my best mates really loves historical. Like, she's always like, "Oh, have you read this? Have you read that? Have you read this?" And I'm like, "No, I've read like maybe I read Bridgerton,
Yeah.
and then I read the classics where they do not bang on page. They don't even bang at all. From what we know, do they have kids? I don't know. They just share longing glances. They look at like." That's it. Although I do love a good historical. I think you might actually enjoy a good historical.
Mm. Yeah, I might need to find those bodice rippers that everyone talks about.
Yes.
No,
I
I think I
believe.
did read a historical when I was like a teenager, and it was like Meg Cabot. She wrote a historical. Have you read that? Ransom My Heart?
I hold on.
It was so
I'm
I love
referring
that
to
one.
Google right now because I books. Because she's the
I think it
one
was
who wrote the
Ransom My
Princess
Heart.
Diaries.
Yes. This
I know
is
I read the Princess
completely
Diaries.
on a tangent and not indie, but speaking of historical romance,
It's books. This is what we're here to
it's books.
do. We're allowed to take some detours. What has she got? So, what was it that you said it was?
Ransom My Heart.
Ransom my heart. No words. I'm just gonna go. Ransom. Ransom. There we go. I got there at the end.
Yes,
Ah,
I think I'm right. Yeah.
he's a tall and handsome knight with a secret. She's an adventurous beauty with more than a few secrets of her own. Ooh,
Yeah.
secrets!
But so from what I remember, basically, she tries to rob this guy because she needs money for her family. And he catches her, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I'm going this way anyway, so blah blah blah. I'll like take you home, like make sure you're safe." And then they end up like banging on the road, and
I
then
said bang, bang,
um
bangity bang. I said a bang, bang, bangity bang.
and then like slowly falling for each other, and then she finds out something about him, and she's like, "Peace, I'm out." And then it's like their story. It was really good. I really enjoyed it as like a 14-year-old. I probably should not have been reading it as a 14-year-old, but
I've just realised that it's written by the Princess of Genovia,
yeah, that's why I
novelist,
was always really confused.
with
Yeah,
help from Meg,
yeah,
author of the Princess Diaries. That's confusing. I do love it when that happens, though. They did that with Jane the Virgin,
Yeah.
where Jane wrote a book in the show and they actually have published it. And I really want to read it. And then they've also done that with Critical Role, so their D&D, where
Yeah.
in one of their campaigns there is like there's a steamy book that one of the characters Jester reads,
Yeah.
and they have now written that as well, and I want to read that.
Oh, that's cool.
So
But yeah,
okay,
I think that was the only historical romance I've ever read, but it was good.
I love that so much. Right, so
Yeah.
historical romance aside,
The
and romance
next
most of
trope
the
that I love is forced proximity, which
oh,
again goes well with enemies to lovers, slow burn, knife to throat kind of vibes, where they're just forced into scenarios that they don't want to be in and they have to like deal with each other. It's the best.
so good. It's and even better when they're trapped in a room together and they have to talk.
Yes.
Hi, work out your issues right now. Please
Yeah.
talk to each other, convey what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. 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 Or when it's like training scenes and like he has to train her or the other way around or like all of those scenes again tension and it
So
just gives like space for great dialogue
and when
and
they have to
banter.
touch as well,
Yes.
and it's like, oh, it's that hands in places where they should be, but you know, a little bit. You're not gonna be. This is not gonna be PG for anybody else in the room or reading the book. You're gonna sit there going, guys, get a room.
Please lift those hands, sir.
But I guess that's another thing that we also didn't list as training sequences is something
Yes.
that I'm just obsessed with. I love it
Yeah.
when authors will write out a whole training sequence of what they're doing, how they're doing it, and then you can picture it and I can see it in my head. I go, oh, this is
Yeah.
so good.
Or like with the training sequence when she finally like betters him and like gets him on the ground and like
Yes.
she's on top of him and then like they're making that eye contact and it's like, oh, just kiss already.
They're making them eyes, and there you go. There's your forced proximity again. It just
Yeah.
ties in so nicely
It
together.
really does. I love it.
Yeah.
We like what we like.
We like what we like, and we will be taking no notes from anybody.
Yes.
Anyone who
Yes,
says
yes, yes.
otherwise, well, you can go and get evaluated somewhere else. We like things.
Yes. What's your next one?
Fake dating.
Mm.
I
I haven't read
especially,
many of those in a while.
mainly in contempt romance,
Yeah.
is where I like that one. I haven't really seen that one in the romantasy fantasy area.
No, thinking about it, you don't really.
No, but it is definitely right up there with the contempt romance where you see quite a lot of the fake dating, and I just love it because then it
Yeah.
forces them together, and then hey, they develop. Oh, like oh wait, I might actually have feelings for you,
Yeah.
and it's just I just sit there going, oh look at the little babies, they're gonna be so happy, and then
Yeah, or
something
when they're
goes
like,
wrong.
yeah, or when they're like, oh, we have to go to this event because we need to make appearances, blah, 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 blah. But then they slowly start just hanging out
Then
because they want to. And there's like
because they
no
go,
reason
actually,
for them.
I see you all this time, and now I'm not. So it's like I'm gonna go and hang out because this is my
Yeah.
normal now, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's actually really cute. I sit there going, "This
Or I
is
like, I always love the scene too where they have to like kiss for the first time and it's for the fake dating, for people to see
yes."
them kiss. And it's just like uncomfortable for them, but like also not at the same time. And it's just, oh, there's so
It
many
goes
great scenes with it.
like you read it going from being like like initially when they first start to kiss, it's uncomfortable, and then they just full on make out. Because
Yeah.
they're like, actually, this is quite nice. Like, this
I
guy,
like this.
just like, this works really well. But yeah,
Yeah.
not so much. I don't think I'd want to read it in romantasy. I don't think that quite fits in with that genre as much, but I
No,
love it in contempt.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know how it would be done in a romantasy, really, thinking
No.
about it. But yeah, it definitely works in contemporary romance. Do you have like a specific like why reason why they fake date that you like to read, or is it just general?
Just general.
Yeah.
It's
I always love like how some of them are so convoluted and you're like, why is this the
the
plan?
reason. Why is this the reason? I like it when it's, oh, he's got an event and his parents, are under the assumption that he's in a relationship, so he
Yeah.
goes, "Hey, you, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you." And then it's like, "Cool, fake dating." And then it just
Yeah.
devolves from there, and it's like I just sit there going, "Fake dating."
Yeah, I think it kind of kicked off for me with the movie Adam Sandler and fuck with Jennifer Aniston, and it's like just go with it. And he ends up like dating this younger girl, and he uses a wedding ring to like get people's, even though he's not married, and he like uses his wedding ring to kind of get women's sympathy, and she finds the ring and he's like fuck, and she's like, oh my god, I'm breaking up the family, da da da. He's like, no no no, we're divorced, like everything's fine. And then he has to get his friend who works for him to like pretend to be his ex-wife, and then they
Oh,
all end up going on holiday together, and then you kind of figure out what happens, but like he
yeah.
doesn't end up with the person he ends up with. And it's I think that's kind of where it started for me, even though it's not, he wasn't fake dating
Mm.
the person he ends up with, but he's like, there's like that fake relationship kind of thing where
Which you sit
she's
there
his
going,
ex-wife. Yeah,
yes.
it was so good. Like I definitely recommend. It's like comedy, but it's also really good as a
We love
movie.
a good
But yeah.
comedy. We love a good
Mm,
laugh. That's the main thing.
hmm
All right, what's your next one?
Deadly Trials.
Oh,
This is like, if I see this on a trope tree, like I'm
mm,
immediately there. I don't
mm,
care what else. I love
yep.
it in Serpents of Wings and Night. We love it in Akatar, all that sort of thing. It's so good. Like it's also in Smoke and Scar by Gretchen Powell Fox. Um,
Excellent.
yes. Um, it just adds so much to it because there's so much action, tension.
Mm,
There's like your life is on the line constantly, and then you have to make allies, and that's where kind of relationships can develop because you have
mm.
to make allies to survive these trials, and it's just so good, and I love it.
I think that particular trope takes us all the way back to, 2012, 2010,
Yeah.
2012, when we were in the midst of the dystopian era.
Yes. Yeah.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, of course. Yeah.
No, yeah. Another Deadly Trials, The Lost God by Sheila Masterson.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and The Trials of Ophelia by Nicole Platania also has the Deadly Trials sorts of
Mm.
things. And
Yeah.
it's just, when it's done right, it's
Yeah.
done amazing. And you sit there
Yeah.
going, I am hooked, hook, line, and bless you. Something sneeze. Uh, hook, line, when it's done amazing, it's done amazing. And you sit there going,
Yeah.
I want to be, I don't want to be there, but then you get to
But I
see,
want to be there.
but you want,
Yeah.
it's that trauma bond that they all get.
Yes. Yeah. And like I've always find that it goes into like a found family dynamic as well, which is another trope that
Yes.
I love. Where like they end up being allies and then they start saving each other, and then it's like, oh, but only one can win. Who makes that decision, and how are we going to go from here on out when we take out all the enemies? And it's just so freaking good.
And
It
I can't
adds
believe
so
neither of us
much.
wrote found family down either.
Neither. It just came into my brain again, but Found Family 100% is another one, I think.
Right up there.
I love it. Especially in Null and Void by Ray Moody.
Yes. Daddy
That
Bones!
Daddy Brains. That has to be my absolute favorite Found Family in a book.
Absolutely. It's right up there. And like
Yeah.
they are so messy, but
Yeah.
together they create, yeah, it's like, and I mean, no family is perfect, and that's what the beauty of found family is that this is the family
Yeah.
that you've chosen. You can't choose your blood, but you can choose who you're with.
Yeah.
And that's the glory of found families. You see all these messy people coming together, and yeah,
Yeah.
they create a big crock pot of mess, but they choose to be in it with each other, and it's just
Yeah. Yeah. And they choose to like help one another and like heal together, and it's
mm,
just so good. Yeah, I love it. It's like null and void. Mika does not want to be with this group, but then eventually she's like, huh, these guys are kind of cool. And then she's like, oh, I cannot live without these guys. These are my
yeah.
people. Um, and yeah, they do stuff to one another that was like, mm. But again, that's what family
You see
does.
them going, this is questionable, but you do you, boo.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, family is top tier, really. Alrighty.
Absolutely.
What's your last one?
The one bed.
Oh, yeah.
You got one bed, or when there's one horse.
Yeah.
Anything where there's just the one source of transportation or sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And they're forced to. I mean, they're not forced, but like, they're in the inn and there's one bed, and then he goes, I'll be a gentleman and take the floor. And she's like, no, the bed's big enough for the both of us. And then he goes, okay. And then they end up spooning.
Yeah. They wake up and they're like, oh, I'm going to stretch. Oh, that's a hard piece
There's
of
our
muscle right
space.
there.
It's like, what is that? And there's someone. You may not be awake, but someone's awake. Um,
Yes.
the forced being put together because it's just like, and if one of them is injured and they're on the horse and this they just stay with,
Mm-hmm.
that just does my
Or
heart
when
and
they're on the horse, and because like the horse is moving and her like butt is pressing up against a
shit.
certain something, and then she's like, what is that? Is that something in his pocket? And then it's like, uh-oh, no, no, it's
That's
not.
not his pocket. Is that something in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
I'm not happy to see you, and it's not something in my pocket.
And the great thing, and also one of the things that I've just realised as we're talking, our one bed, one horse trip always seems to go with the enemies to lovers.
Yes, it
Always
does.
goes with
Enforced proximity.
force proximity. It's those things,
Mm.
and generally there's always a knife to throat in there as well. And the
I can
sunshine
think of
grumpy
I
dynamic.
I literally can think of like one book that has every one of those tropes in there. And it's A
I,
Court That's Cruel and Lovely by Stacia Stark. Like, he's grumpy as hell, she's sunshine, they're enemies to lovers because he kind of leaves her to die. They end up in forced proximity because they've agreed to help one another do a certain thing. There's a knife to throat scene. Um, and there's a one bed, one horse scene, I'm pretty sure. There you
well,
go. Book recommendation for the day.
and with all of our favorite tropes tied into one, and there we go,
Yeah.
bang, bang, bangity bang. Bang, bang, bangity bang. I have to finish it. Okay, what's your last one?
My last one is arranged marriage slash marriage of convenience. I think this is definitely more in the contemporary romance side of
Mm.
things, especially kind of with like mafia romance, which I see it a lot more in.
Mm.
And I just really love it. Again, it's that forced proximity. They're doing this not because they like one another, but because they have something that each other wants, and it always leads to like really great banter, really great dialogue. Like they don't want to do this, and then you can just slowly watch them fall in love. Like they're in this house together, they're living together, but they're in separate rooms, and then all of a sudden like he's making a coffee for her the way she likes it, and she's like, like has cooked a big meal and is like, oh well, there's enough for two of us, why don't we just sit down and eat together? And I just love that watching of slowly falling in love, even though they're like already married. I always love that.
I will say it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I think I've read one book, which isn't an indie, that had the marriage of convenience that I
yeah,
really loved, and I think it was done really well. But then it was romantasy.
yeah,
But it was and when I was reading, I was like, this is actually perfect. It's not my go-to trope, but
yeah,
when it's done well, I do sit there going, oh yeah, this isn't actually bad. But I think it's definitely a lot more common, especially in those mafia
yeah,
romances.
yeah. And I am
Not
definitely more of a dark romance reader than I think you are.
yeah, yeah. I'm definitely a give me the light and fluffy romances.
Yeah,
I've read a couple of dark romances, and I was sitting there going, what is happening? What am I reading? And then I read other books and go, oh, this isn't actually as bad as what I was reading.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's just something that I do enjoy, and it kind of goes back to like my Wattpad days.
good. I was gonna say, does this go back to Wattpad? Because Wattpad,
Yes.
there
Yes.
was a
Yes,
lot of
yes, yes.
mafia romances on there, which we'll come back to. We fully intend to talk about Wattpad and our Wattpadding days and the books that were on
Yeah.
Wattpad, the books we read on Wattpad.
And possibly rereading.
There's one particular book that we are really keen to reread. When we discovered that it
So,
was published, we're like, oh my gosh, we have to read
yeah.
this and
Yeah,
review
this was like behind the scenes after we finished recording, and we just went on this rabbit hole about Wattpad, and then we both realized we'd read the same book, and we just have to reread and do an episode on it. Like,
It's a
absolutely.
necessity, and I mean, I think it's the thing for a lot of readers is Wattpad is
Yeah.
where a lot of us started.
Yeah. Definitely in our generation, I would say. Because I was talking to a couple of authors at Ages of Pages, and they were talking about like AOP. Oh, no, not AOP.
Yep.
That, whatever that is.
Anyway, another fanfic sort of
Yeah.
site.
Yeah. And that's where like Esme Brett, that's where she was reading when she was a teen and stuff, and she's a little bit older than us, I think. And yeah, it's crazy kind of seeing the generations and kind of where they were reading stuff that they weren't supposed to be reading.
I remember there were a lot of conversations, like my parents were like, so what are you reading? And I'm like, oh, fanfic.
Just a book.
Fanfiction? What are you reading fanfiction on? Stuff? You don't want to read what I've been reading.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Back then, the stuff on Wattpad was really tame.
I can only imagine what teenagers nowadays. I don't know where they're reading it, but
yeah, I should ask my brother. He's 18. He would know.
probably.
I'll ask him. Be like, hey, so you were on Wattpad. What are the kind of books you were reading? Like, tell me. Give me the deeds. I was just having a look on Instagram, because we did a thing on what tropes people like.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of what we have said, so enemies to lovers, forced proximity, one bed, always be romantic favourites. Found family with witty banter will always be essential to meet every read. They gain a star on their own, and that's from Rosie.
Oh, of course. Rosie just falls in love with side characters.
But who doesn't? I mean, side characters really make the book. I mean, you get your main characters, but then it's the side character. I know for me, I go a cool side character. This is my character.
It's like Daddy Beans. He's not a main character in Null and Void, and everyone is obsessed with Daddy Beans.
Yeah, exactly. And it's and like with When Death Would Life Home, there's a lot of side characters there that we absolutely fall in love with. And everyone is.
There's some that not so much, but then he gets his redemption in book 2. I do have to say,
redemption, and everyone is going to love it. And then book 3 is going to be absolutely amazing.
Oh, I'm so excited for book 3.
That you get that book 3 definitely has that found family trauma bond.
I need to get into that beta read.
I also need to. I've been sidetracked. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, just some of the characters who have been side characters in When Fair Dance with Courage and When Death Could Life Home, they get their spotlight. And you're sitting there going,
yes! Yeah.
Finally, 100%. We get more! Which also reminds me, I need to make some more memes for When Fair Dance with Courage, because I've got a lot of memes on my phone that I've made.
Your memes are top tier. It is the best.
I have a lot of time, and there's a lot of my brain. My brain is like a train station, and it's got like 5 different tracks and 10 trains, and they're all heading in different directions, and somehow at least 2 of them crash, and they make a thought. And that thought is usually a meme. With ours having just gone out for When Fair Dance with Courage, I'm gonna give it like maybe a week, and then I'll start posting them because I'm like, cool,
Yes.
people are gonna have read it, and they're gonna be completely out of context for everyone else, and it's like,
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
of context
Yeah.
memes. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be
They're so
great.
good. Yeah.
And then what Celia also said, Grumpy Sunshine. Grumpy is also
Mm.
one, which is always an interesting dynamic when it's
Yeah.
grumpy, because it's like, who can out grumpy the other person?
Yeah. And then one ends up being more sunshine, so it's like,
Yeah,
there we go.
as time goes on, they realize, oh, I'm actually, not bad.
Yeah.
Forced proximity and arranged marriage, even better. They're all in the same series.
They definitely are. Sneaky,
It's,
sneaky.
it's fine. Look, this
Yeah.
episode comes out on the 29th. We'll be fine. Oh dear. Any other tropes that you, even like obscure tropes?
Obscure. Um, I always find that I don't pick up friends to lovers much, but then when I read it, I really enjoy it. And the same with like Second Chance.
Oh,
Like I'm like, oh, do I really want to go through all the trauma of them breaking up and then like
yes.
them healing and then like getting back together? And it's like, actually, yeah, I do. I want to have the feels right from the beginning. And I did really, really enjoy it with I didn't know going in, but A Wolf in the Garden by Allegra Hall,
Oh yeah.
Second Chance, Friends to Lovers. Yeah. And I really loved it. And like watching them grow together and realizing like I fucked up. I'm so sorry, but I've always loved you, and I'm coming back to find you, sort of thing. And it's just like so good, and it just kind of adds another layer to the story.
I do love a good friends to lovers, especially in
Mm,
contempt.
yeah,
Second Chance, I'm very iffy on Second Chance, mainly because,
yeah,
and like for me, I'm just like, no, that wouldn't. I read it and I go, but there's so much there that hasn't been resolved. And I mean, why did you break up the first time and now you're thinking, hey, it's going to work a second time? Like for me,
yeah,
and I mean, even in reality, I'm like, there is no second chance in this instance.
yeah,
Romantically, you got to protect yourself. And I read these books and I'm just like, girl, like, there's got to be a reason. Like, you guys need couples counseling. You guys need therapy. Please see someone.
yeah. There's certain ones where I'm like, really, you've had sex and now everything's all good again. And it's like, that's not how that works.
And that's what we call delusion. You're
What
delusional.
about you? Is there any obscure ones that you have? Or
I'm
ones that
looking.
you tend to not enjoy, but when you pick them up, you're like, huh?
I Someone's gonna kill me for this, but I do. Okay, I love the single parent trope. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little more obscure. You don't read it as much. There is some instances, and someone will kill me for this, where I do like the pregnancy storyline.
Oh, yeah, same. Same.
And a lot of people are really anti it. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
but I'm just like, I actually, if it's done right, I actually,
Yeah.
like, I don't go out of my way to look for it. I don't, like, if it's in a trope map and it goes, oh, pregnancy trope, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I don't go seeking it, but if it's done properly and it's done really
Yeah.
well, I sit there really happy.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love the single parent when there's one of them's a parent and the other one comes in and it's like, oh, hey, look, there's a little human here. Hey, you gotta be friends with this person too. I'm just sitting there going,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. There was one that I read a couple of years ago, Surprise for the Sniper by Sienna Trapp. And it was like, um, they were together when they were like really young. He was trying to become a hockey star, and he gets like an opportunity of a lifetime, and she's just found out that she's pregnant, but she doesn't tell him. And I think she's like 16, 17, so they're quite young. And she's like, go for it. Like, this is your dream. You need to go for this. And then like years later, he comes back into town and he puts two and two together and realizes that it's his son. And then it's like, there's drama because he's like, how dare you like hide this from me? And she's like, I did it so you could have your dream. And like, I've never asked for anything from you. Like, fuck you. Yeah. And then like watching him slowly fall in love with the baby, like the son, and it was really good. I really liked it.
When it's done really well. I was reading Coming Up Roses by L. Ashwell.
Yeah.
And and the main character comes back into her daughter's life, basically.
Yeah.
And because her daughter's been with her dad. And dad's in another relationship, they're very happy, and she meets another guy on the farm. But having this child and, seeing everyone reconnect, and then this kid is really happy where she is, and, she's got all these people kind of around her in one little big found family.
Yeah, I love that.
It just adds a whole other dynamic to books and to stories that I think gets written off quite a lot because people are like, oh, we don't want that. We're not reading books for this.
Yeah. I think it's to do a lot with readers who are parents who don't like it or don't want kids, so they don't want to see that in their stories, or like they're like, I've had to deal with a small human all day. Like, I do not want to be reading about this, and which is fair. But I do enjoy it when it's done well.
And I think for me, it goes back to Gilmore Girls. That's what I grew up loving. I read books and I go, Gilmore Girls.
Yeah. But
otherwise, I think that, I will love one day to read a book where it's just reverse tropes. Like, one bed? No, too many beds. I would love to read a book where there is just reverse tropes. I just want to read a book that's just completely reverse. And everyone's like, what the hell's going on in this book? And I'm like, I don't know, but I love it here.
Just a scene where like they're all just like hopping bed from bed trying to find the one that works for them. And
this bed was too soft. This bed was too hard. This bed was just right. One day someone's gonna be brave enough to publish a book that is just all reverse micro
that would be hilarious.
And I'm gonna sit there going, this is the best book in my entire life.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
It'll be hilarious. It'll bring so much joy to me, to a whole lot of other people. Everyone else will be like, but this isn't right. It's like, shh, who cares? This is perfect.
It's fun. It's different.
This is what we need. We need different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Alrighty. What is your spark of joy this week?
Well, my spark of joy is candles from Whisper and Wax.
Ooh.
They haven't arrived yet. I'm very excited. So Whisper and Wax is a Kiwi-based candle. She makes candles and wax melts. And she did the threshing candles for Thing.
Oh, yes.
Which I've got 3 of them sitting there. She has just done A Court of Mystery. So all the candles are themed to A Court of Thorns and Roses, and you open it and you find out which court you've got.
Yeah.
And she's also just done a Tropes candles as well.
Oh, I love that.
And what did I get? So I got a Grumpy Sunshine. Who Did This To You?
That's another one.
How did we forget Who Did This To You?
Who did this to you? I will slay them.
Who Did This To You? And fuck it. They, like, when they're in the, and then I've got 3 A Court of Mystery candles. So you open it and you can find out what court you are. So she's done my goal is to collect them all. Yeah. I love her they smell amazing. So I've got 3 threshing candles. I got an orange dragon, a black dragon, and a blue dragon.
Cool.
She did Jinx from Arcane.
Yeah.
Which smells like cotton candy and sweet berries.
Oh, yum.
This is what it looks like. I'm just showing Anne what it actually looks like inside, and it's sparkly. It is sparkly,
I love that.
You can't tell. But I am really looking forward to my other candles arriving. I'm
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
exciting.
I've also messaged her to be like, hey, do you want a book recommendation? And she's like, sure. I'm like, Zoe, read Zoe's book.
Yes.
Because
Do
then
some
she...
candles.
That's what I'm thinking. That's my brain. I'm just here to recommend it to anyone who makes any kind of candle. I'm just here to go.
Did you see Marley's drawings?
Of Death, Askin, and Allura.
Oh,
That was amazing, he was Death and Allura would get along so well,
so well.
so well.
100%.
Also, all his artwork that he's doing for the coloring in book.
So good.
By the time he finished drawing that dragon, I expected the dragon to be pulling the middle fingers because he was just because out of pure frustration that he was clearly having drawing that dragon. I've just been like, the dragon should be doing this.
So, for anyone who doesn't know who Marley is the M in Athena M Bliss. So, Athena does all the writing, Marley does the editing, and they've written / like worked on The Sons of Echidna and the Syrian Sisterhood, which is a series that I'm obsessed with.
Amen.
Oh, it's such a good series if you love chaos, found family,
Messy,
several
found
by
family.
disasters.
All of them by disasters.
All of them. And inside the book, there is artwork drawn by Athena, and Marley is currently working on the Sons of Echidna coloring book. So we're watching his process on drawing for the coloring book, and it's
which
just
is an
amazing.
instant buy. The second anything by them, anything by the two of them is an instant buy.
Absolutely.
Just above my bookshelf, I've got my art, like the artwork that I'm slowly collecting from everyone, and 90% of it is Athena and Marley.
Yeah. Like you'll order their book from them, and they'll throw in a pack of like all the art prints and all the extra goodies. They're just the most amazing humans to ever live.
Absolutely. And Marley did candles for the characters as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And he also did some candles for Zoe, for Allura and Askion.
Yeah.
And once she got them and Marley sent them to her, I was sitting there on my bed down in her place, and I had both candles under my nose. I was breathing them in at the same time to the point where I think I got a little bit dizzy because I was just like, they just smell so good. And the candles that he made, I've got Lai and Eris.
Yeah. I have the exact same ones.
Excellent choice. We have great taste.
We do.
It's those. Look, my biggest spot is just candles. Give me candles any day of the week. I will sit there and sniff them to my heart's content. It makes me so happy, and I won't light half of them because I just want to sit there and
Yeah, that's the thing with candles. Like, I love the smell, and then I'm like, I don't want to burn them because they're gonna like disappear. But
that's why we just never burn them.
Yeah, just have like a whole shelf of just candles.
I need a new bookshelf. What is your spark of joy for the week?
We already talked about this at the beginning, but the Ages of Pages event is definitely the spark of my week. It's just, I've been riding this high since Saturday and hitting the event, and it's just been the best. I would definitely, again, like, if you have the opportunity to go to a bookish event, I would say go, because it was so fun meeting friends I've already met, but also friends that I've never met, and just hanging out with authors, which is really cool as well. Like, I was sitting having drinks with A. Jane Dove and Rachel Scott at the after party, and it was just the best time.
What is our lives that we get to do a podcast where we talk about books. We get to talk to authors and just randomly pop into their DMs and be like, hey, why did you do this? We get to hang out with them. What is our lives? How did we get to this point? What is going on?
Like, I was, and just like having authors recognize me and getting excited about meeting me. And I'm like, no, I'm just like this crazy person on the internet who talks about books. Like, you should not be excited to meet me. But yeah, it was so good.
Incorrect. And then, everyone should be excited to meet you.
Yeah. And then like meeting other bookstagrammers that I follow and interact with, but have never actually had full conversations with, was also really good. So I've kind of made a lot more new friends, which was awesome too.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it was so good. All right, what's one thing that you want to plug this week on
Oh,
top of Whisper and Wax?
I'm just sitting here sniffing my candle right now. Um, my plug for the week. That's a really good question, actually. I took some sick leave on Monday, so I would highly recommend. Last Monday, I'd highly plug taking sick leave when you need to take sick leave, even if you
Yeah.
don't have any sick leave. I was at the point I couldn't talk, I couldn't without it hurting, I couldn't swallow without it hurting, so I said, you know what, work, you can sort yourselves out.
Yeah.
Um, so take that sick leave when you need to. It is
Hmm.
entirely necessary. You aren't. While your job may be replaceable, you aren't.
Hmm.
So look after yourselves, especially as we come into winter. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. I've eaten a lot of vitamin C. We've got mandarins on our mandarin tree, so I'm starting to try and build my immune system a little bit so I can
Yeah.
survive the coming winter. I also
Mm.
really love the cold weather we're having because it means I can have blankets on.
Yes. I finally put my duvet on because on Saturday night I was freezing all night. Oh no,
Oh,
Friday night. And then Saturday we put the duvet on and it was like the best sleep I've had in so long.
Saturday I had my duvet, I had a quilt on top of that, and then I had
Yeah.
my blanket that my brother made me.
Cute.
It's a crocheted sunflower blanket, so I had all of that on my bed, and I was just bundled. I was like, this is so nice.
Love that.
What is your plug of the week?
My plug of the week would be the company The Romance Realm. So they are an NZ business that I met at Ages of Pages, and I was really intrigued by what they were doing. So basically, it is a Aussie and NZ independent book box where they curate a book box. I think it's for like $100. You get the paperback alongside a bunch of other small businesses, like little goodies that kind of go with the book. And it was just really great talking with them and kind of seeing what they do. Yeah, they've done like K Wish, they've done Anna L, they've done AJ and Dove, and kind of just seeing and having a chat with them about what they're doing. And I thought it was a really good thing. So yeah, looking here on their website, their premium book box is $99. And then
Free
they've got the
shipping.
classic box, which is $69 with free shipping. Yeah.
Which I just,
Um,
as you're saying that, I actually just purchased one of their premium book boxes, so I bought that literally yesterday.
oh, I love that. Yeah, I'm very intrigued by them. And I definitely think that if I cancel my other one, I might get this one instead.
Well, from what
So
I noticed, you can buy it as a one-off.
yeah, which I
As,
think is
as,
cool too.
as they release, hey, this is the book we're doing. You go, hey, this is what I want, which is actually
Yeah.
a really good way to do it. Because the thing with subscription boxes is once you subscribe, you're subscribed. But we'll talk
Yeah.
about boxes at a later date,
Yes, we will. That's another
which we
episode.
intend
But
to
yeah,
do.
that is one of my plugs. Definitely looking at those if you're in New
Mm.
Zealand or Australia. And yeah, just giving some more love because I don't see a lot of book boxes that do indie reads. So I think this
Mm.
is a great way to support indie authors. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And on that
Alrighty.
note, and you want
I
to take
think
us
that's
out with a bang?
us. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure to subscribe because we never ask that, so we know you're here listening. And make sure to follow us at the Broke Book Girls Pod on Instagram. And you can follow me at Runaway Irish Girl on Instagram and YouTube and possibly TikTok. And where can we find you, Bree?
You can find me at Cheese and Reads on Instagram. You can find me there on Threads, which I don't really use. I'm also there on TikTok. I just use TikTok to doom scroll. So you can follow me, but you're not going to see anything from me except my face in the profile photo. But you're
Yeah,
more than
so
welcome to
thanks.
send me weird to send me TikToks. It's absolutely fine because I will sit there and I'll giggle to myself.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.